I just don't like this word rejection. I don't like this whole, there's this whole conversation of, oh, I said no to this film. No, that's not a nice way to look at work. You have the best in the business telling you whether you're doing good or not. So his opinion is something that really matters to me.
When do we see you and Aishwarya together in the film again?
That's a good thing. That means they want to see us together. We'd love to do something together. Please be very conscious of all the rules and standard operating procedures that the government has put down, and please follow and obey them.
Hi Abhishek, first of all, I love the hoodie.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're rocking it.
Thank you.
It's so nice to see you after such a long time. I'm guessing you're hearing.
Yes, it's been long. Hope you've been well.
I've been well, yes. Thank you so much. Welcome to ETimes. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. It's always really nice to chat up with you. And we don't get to speak to you as often we would like to. So I'm going to make the most of this.
Sure.
I'm going to start by reminding you that on June 30th last year, Refugee released in 2000, right? So back in the day, that boy on the set 20 years back, did he think that 20 years down the line, you would be sitting and chatting with me about a film releasing on a streaming platform?
No, man, very honestly, I mean, I had not thought beyond a couple of years. At that point, when you're so young, you don't really think about too far into the future. Yeah, I've never even, I discussed this with a lot of my friends. I don't think anybody would have thought that 20 years down the line, and now almost 21 years down the line, I'd be sitting back and talking about it. At that point in time, digital streaming platform wasn't even on the horizon. So that wasn't even a thought process. But it's amazing, when you look back and you just see the journey and from where to where the world has come, it's amazing to watch, and you feel so thankful, you feel so blessed. Tushar, I think any actor will tell you this, to be granted the opportunity by the audience to continue to make films for a period of time is a blessing. You have to count yourself very lucky. There's so many thousands of such talented actors out there who are still looking for a job. And it's a very competitive business. And to be here 20, 21 years down the road is, you feel so lucky and so blessed. And you have to thank your audiences for bestowing that love and faith in you. And you have to get up tomorrow morning and work even harder to keep maintaining that, because you know that, what they liked last Friday, they might not like the coming Friday. So it's a constant road to continually win their love and appreciation. But above all, you have to be so grateful to them.
Right. And if you had the opportunity to time travel and go back in time and give your younger self a piece of advice, that boy on the set of Refugee, what would you tell him now? What would the Abhishek of 2021 tell him now?
Work even harder. Like I said, this industry demands blood, sweat, and tears. And it's never enough. It's a transaction. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out. So I tell him, work even harder.
Right. When I open your filmography, and when I just quickly browse through the films that you've done, there is every possible genre that's checked in the box. There's romantic comedies, there's an action film, there is every possible genre. And I remember this point in time when people kept praising your comic timing. Then they praised your dramatics. Then they praised you in action films. How did you feel at that point in time? Because did that leave you a little confused, or were you like, okay, I'm really good at everything?
No, it never left me confused. At the end of the day, when your audience appreciates your work, I think that's great, because that's what you work for. You work for the appreciation of the audience, the acceptance of the audience. We are here for them. We're making our films for them. So it always feels great. And even better if you manage to convince them in several different genres. But having said that, Tushar, I also feel we shouldn't be getting surprised at that. An actor's job is to be convincing in whatever role they're given. So we have to try our best to be as versatile as possible. More so today than, when I first started off. But I think it's a wonderful, reassuring fact that if your audience feels you can convince them in several different genres.
Right. And what's your thought process? If you could just quickly walk me through your thought process when you choose a script or something that really appeals to you. What is the thing? What's the one thing, like in the case of this particular film? What was it that you said, yes, okay, I need to be a part of this?
Well, I had already said yes to the film before hearing the script. So, I can't say no to Ajay. Ajay is family to me, and I have too much love and respect for him. So it was already a yes. It was a matter of a technicality that Cookie, the director, came and narrated to me. But I was so lucky when he narrated the script to me because it was such a wonderful script, and it was a great role. But the criteria I've always set out for myself in hearing a script is when you hear the story, is this a film you'd want to see as an audience? And if you would, then you should do the film.
Right. That's pretty simple. And I like that. It's pretty straightforward. Like, would I watch it
Yeah.
myself, right? And when you make that particular choice, and if it doesn't work out, then how do you navigate through that process of understanding that?
Well, there's several ways to, but at the end of the day, I think the most simplistic way to think of it, and usually which has yielded the best answers for me, has been is that what you thought was good is not good enough. So you need to pull up your socks and improve yourself. Because if you were that good, then the film would have worked.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty basic again. I like that. Uh, Coming back to this particular film, when you are in character, when you're portraying or playing somebody who people are going to compare to, you've also done that in Guru. Did you ever think that people would perhaps draw parallels between Guru and this film?
Yeah, I can understand why they would, you know. But yeah, I don't spend too much time thinking about these things. Guru's a movie I made 14, 15 years ago. And it's a wonderful film, a film which is very close to my heart, was a milestone for me in my career. And I think it's wonderful if people if they find similarities, because I mean, I like the film, but it's not something you really think about. If anything, you want to try and do something new, and you want to not try and repeat what you've done before. It's an attempt you make. But yeah, people thinking about it, yeah, I can understand why, but I don't really pay much heed to it.
Right, correct. And in the space and the genre that the film is set in, and the teaser obviously is damn interesting, and we're going to watch it tonight at 7:30. I think everybody's damn excited. The inevitable question that has been thrown to you throughout these conversations must be the comparison to Scam. And how did you have that conversation with yourself or people around you when the Scam came out? It was a huge rage. People really appreciated it. The audience loved it. And now here's another film with a different actor, with a different narrative, a different treatment altogether. What is your take on it?
My take doesn't really matter. Um, I saw Scam. I tweeted about it last year that it was fantastic. I loved it. And that was a very genuine reaction. I think also we tend to make too much of this competition thing. Competition is good. Healthy competition is good. That doesn't mean you have to not acknowledge and applaud good work. And Scam was very good work. And I feel it's my moral duty to applaud them because they made a great product. I was very relieved when I saw it because I realized the approach is very different to what we've done in the Big Bull. So I was relieved in that sense. But it's a great piece of work, great writing, great direction, great acting, and congratulations to them and well done. Really, honestly, I'm saying it. I mean, it's a wonderful achievement. That
Right.
doesn't mean mine is any less. And that doesn't mean, I'm going to have to be apologetic about what we've made. On the contrary, I'm very relieved because I realize it's a very different approach. It's a different narrative style, everything. Theirs is a web series, ours is a film. So therein lies just the difference to start with. But yeah, I mean, to compare, I'm not going to start thinking about that. I've always said, I don't believe in wasting time and thinking about all of this. I'd much rather do my film. It's another thing that, by the time Scam came out, our film was already over and ready. But I mean, it is what it is. You just have to look ahead and hope for the best.
Right. And we all were looking forward to watching it in the theater. And I don't know how you've made peace with the fact that that's not happening at this point in time. But is that a disappointment? It must be somewhere, right?
Well, look, it was made with the intention of releasing in theaters. The situation is what it is, Tushar. You can't change it. The silver lining is people from the safety of their homes get to see the film. And that's the most important. As long as the film reaches to the people that it's intended for, I'm happy. And, Disney Plus Hotstar has done a great job of putting the film out there. They have a huge user base. And arguably, I feel more people will possibly watch The Big Bull now than they would have had it come out in the theater because, look at the situation right now. There's night curfew in most places, so your evening shows can't be exhibited. There's limited capacity. So you know that for sure in a lot of places theaters are shut altogether. So you know that here's an opportunity for you, and that was why Ajay took the decision to bring it onto digital. He's saying, look, at least people will get to see it, if not more people.
Right. Abhishek, it's also very interesting when I see the choices you're making at this point in time in your career. All very different. I don't see any similarity between any of the choices. They're all interesting characters. They're different sorts of films. Are you very clear in your head also to saying no to things? Like, are you rejecting a lot of things? And are you very clear in your head that I don't want to play these kind of characters? And if so, then what are the kind of things that you're rejecting or you're not getting so excited about?
I don't like that word rejecting. I think it's very demeaning to anybody who's come to you with work. I think two creative people can have creative differences or want different things out of their creativity. So I just don't like this word rejection. I don't like this whole, there's this whole conversation of, oh, I said no to this film. No, that's not a nice way to look at work. There's certain things that fall into what you want to do and certain things that don't. And that's perfectly fine. And that doesn't mean that anybody else's work is not good enough. I just feel there's an air of when we say, oh, I said no to that film, that the context comes about that, oh, that film wasn't good enough for me. No, that's not the case. Maybe that's just not something I felt like doing at that point of time. So I'm not very comfortable talking about the films that, in that manner, because it is somebody's hard work and it shouldn't be spoken about like that.
Right. But what excites your sensibilities the most at this point in time? Like, what really excites you? If you look at the choices you've made.
Like I said, it has to be something that I feel I'm going to want to watch. It has to be something which I get excited about to act in. So, I would say these two are the two major criteria.
Right. And is this an early birthday gift for your mom because it's her birthday tomorrow in the sense that it's releasing a day before?
Well, whether it's a gift, we'll only come to know in time. But I hope she's proud of me when she sees it.
Yeah. So who's your biggest critic back home? I mean, this is a question again that you perhaps must have faced, but who's your hardest critic? Now that Aaradhya's in the picture as well, and she probably...
I think my father, I'd say my father. My father has always been immensely honest and forthcoming with his views and opinions and suggestions to my work. And who better than that, right? You have the best in the business telling you whether you're doing good or not. So his opinion is something that really matters to me.
Right, for sure. Anybody would have been privileged to be in a room with him to just have him say a line. So that, of course, is a lot. That also sort of makes me think that tomorrow, if Aaradhya had to get into films, what would be your word of advice to her? Because I know it's too early and she's really young, and but what would be your takeaway?
I want my daughter to have the confidence to do whatever she wants to do. And I'm sure she will have her parents' blessing in whatever. As long as she's happy, I'm happy.
Right. Every parent would want that. I think that sums everything up. And how do you deal with the pressure of fans constantly bombarding you with these messages of when do we see you and Aishwarya together in the film again? That's a question that gets thrown to both of you.
That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. That means they want to see us together. We'd love to do something together. But obviously, you look forward to doing something which excites both of us individually as creative people. So yeah, we look forward to it.
Right. And this is a sidetrack question, but I know how much of music you have in your blood, and I know how cool your playlists are. There is this obviously talk in town that Abhishek has the coolest playlist in town, and Bluffmaster keeps coming up on everybody's playlist every second month. Will we see you get behind that mic anytime soon, or is that something you...
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'd love to. But like I said, everything has to just fall into place. There's such wonderful work being done out there right now, and I'd love to be able to work with a lot of them.
Yeah, fantastic. Finally, Abhishek, one message for all the fans who are going to be watching the film tonight, who will be watching the film in the coming days. What would you want them to take away from it?
I'm not very good at hard selling my films. The only message I'd give them is, guys, please be safe. Please stay home if you can and only step out if it's absolutely essential. And if you are, please wear your mask, maintain social distancing and hand hygiene. This virus is very much out there. If you see the kind of numbers that, we're getting in India, and it's getting out of control. Please take care of yourselves. Please be very conscious of all the rules and standard operating procedures that the government has put down, and please follow and obey them. If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your family and your loved ones, because this is a serious issue and something of major concern. So please wear your mask and stay safe.
That came with a lot of love, and I really hope everybody takes to that with a lot of love as well.
Let's hope so.
Thank you so much, Abhishek, for your time. Really
thank you. I hope you enjoy the film, Tushar. Take care. Stay safe.
Take care, Abhishek.
Thanks, man. Thank you.